Hey everyone, it's Yao Yuno here, back at it again with another weapon mastery video. Real quick, if you don't know the basics, go check out my other video. Just a quick recap, towards the end of Season 2, I was able to get to Legendary with my Quaxer. Honestly, for somebody that's not that good at playing, I feel like getting to Legendary was definitely a lot of work and dedication. Unfortunately, I didn't take a screenshot of my weapon before the season ended, so I'm just showing this segment here to show you how many points my weapon was at when the season ended. So it was at 5,153. And with Season 3, my weapon was reset to 4,161 points. So about 1,000 points were docked. I think that the amount of points reset just really depends on how many points your weapon has. COD says that the weapon points are reset proportionally according to the amount that exceeds 3,500. But in my opinion, I think what that means is the higher your points are before the season ends, the better your chances are of being on the leaderboard when the season resets. Alrighty then, so today's video is just going to be answering questions that some of you have asked. I've tried to reply to everyone in the comments, but just in case the comments are missed, everything will be addressed in this video. And I'll also be talking more about the leaderboards and things that I've tried and suggestions. I didn't really know what order to organize the questions in, so just bear with me. They're just going to be in random order. However, I will have timestamps included, so that way you could just pick the one that you're most interested in. Okay, so question number 1. How come I can't select a region? I think this is only applicable for those who play on Garena. I don't play on that, so I'm not too sure, but I think for that you can't pick a region. So I'm sorry. And for those of you who aren't playing on Garena, yes, you do have to pick a region in order to make it onto the leaderboard, so make sure you do so. And then second question, what's the difference between the silver and gold weapon mastery leaderboard badge? So silver is regional, and then global would be gold. Okay, and then third question, my weapon's already mastered, but how come I'm not on the leaderboard? Okay, so to get on the leaderboards, you have to check to see how many points the person in 100th place has. And those points are the minimum amount that you need to make it onto the leaderboard. It's a different number for every region, for every weapon. The biggest thing is to keep in mind that you have to maintain your leaderboard position until it's been settled for the week to get the badge. So if you're in 100th place, I would suggest grinding on rank to try to get in the top 90s. Question number 4, it says I'm on the leaderboard, but how come I don't have the badge yet? So if you're on the leaderboards but you still haven't received the badge, you'll probably get it next week during settlement. According to COD, the leaderboards are settled every Monday UTC from midnight to 5 a.m. I live on the West Coast, so in Pacific Standard Time, it would be Sunday between 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Real quick, it's important to note that the leaderboards do not change during settlement. So if your leaderboard position changes during that time, it won't be reflected until after. Question number 5, how come my weapon's points aren't changing? I've heard of some glitches here and there, but before that, just make sure that you're playing within the given parameters, the required rank. And if you're still not getting points, then I'd say report to Activision. Question number 6, how many points do I get on average? For me, I primarily use my weapon in ranked MP. The amount of points just depends on kills, time, assists, and whether or not I won or lost. I know it may sound crazy, but I do kind of low-key keep track. I know you guys are probably like, what? Did she really make an Excel sheet for this? Yes, I did. So this is for Season 2, but I was trying to keep track of my weapon's points, the ranked game results, my placement, KD ratio, score, and my weapon XP. To answer the question, if I stuck with my QXR the whole game and my team wins, I usually get anywhere from 4 to 23 points. It's a wide range, I know. However, if my team loses, I'd lose anywhere from 2 to 15 points if I'm not the MVP. There's been times when my team's lost and I've gained weapon points, but that's only when I'm MVP or second. I know, super complicated. And then this is the Excel sheet that I have for this season so far. I had to get the full breakdown so that way I could better explain to you how the points are distributed and what really matters in the game. I have been trying to play a little bit more carefully, so the points gained have not been that much because I've been using other weapons instead, which, you know, I'll go over in detail later on in the video. Question number 7. Do double weapon XP cards work? So with double weapon XP cards, there's 3 different kinds. There is the one that's for the next 10 matches. And then there's the one that is for the next 24 hours. I mean, that's a long time. And then there is another one that is for the next 2 hours. I'm really glad Altered Memory asked me in the comments whether or not this works. I wasn't too sure. So I went ahead and tried the double weapon XP for the next 10 matches, which can be seen here. With basic XP at 100 and then weapon XP bonus at another 100, total is 200%. We'll see how much of a difference it makes or if it does anything at all. I'll show a few game clips of me using different weapons to see what the difference is. Okay, so first run, it's hardpoint at shoot house, and I decided to go with my Arctic. And you can see the double weapon XP symbol on my screen. Now, I decided to go with my Arctic because it's still currently diamond. I am not good at quick scoping. I'm not usually a sniper. So I thought, you know, it'd be good to see how many points I would get. Along the game, I thought I'd pick up other people's weapons so that way I could get points for it as well. If you can get kills with the weapons you pick up, that would be better, so it's more points, but if not, you know, just having it during the match, if your team wins, will give you points. So by having both my sniper and another weapon, I'd be getting points for both weapons at the same time. I would highly recommend doing this if you don't really use your melee weapon. I mean, even if you do use your melee weapon, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to pick up a gun. I mean, obviously don't pick up whatever you see on the ground, pick up something you're comfortable with. Ideally, you'd want to pick up a weapon that you like using or that you're working on. For me, it'd be the M13 and the Fennec right now. They're both diamond. So decided to pick up a Type 25 because why not? Okay, so cutting the gameplay short, it was a victory. And here is all the weapon XP from using the double weapon XP card. And as you can see here, besides the usual 3 things that I said really mattered, there's also the buff at the end. That is just the total XP from all the other categories. For me, aside from the KRM, all my other weapons are diamond, so this is a great way for me to get points throughout the game. Side note, for those grinding on one weapon for the leaderboard, I would suggest picking up another weapon, but sticking to your main weapon to get kills, and the other weapon would just get points for time. Okay, round 2, domination at high rise with the double weapon XP card. So for this one, I just decided to stick with my Kilo. It's currently diamond as well. I just wanted to see how many points I could get if I just stuck to one weapon. Please excuse my voice behind couch. Been having a sore throat. But all the it goes towards this one weapon. And here on the right hand side is the weapon XP. And if you click on the little breakdown, it'll show you the XP that you get for each category. Oh my goodness, I just realized that I didn't even really answer the question. To answer the question of whether or not double XP cards work, here is the breakdown of weapons that I use with the double XP card when I was playing ranked. So from top to bottom, we have the Kilo 141, Arctic 50, Fennec, Rust 79U, and the QQ9. Out of these, the QQ9 is the only weapon that I have that's master. Every other weapon is currently diamond. I know this is a lot of data, but feel free to look over it yourself as I'm going over what I learned. With using the double weapon XP card, the biggest thing I want to point out is the points gained or lost based on the results of the game. So when I won the game, I do feel like I got a little bit more points than I usually would, like by, like 1 to 3 points. And the biggest thing, however, is that when I lost games, I either didn't lose any points at all or I gained a few points. To answer the question, yes, I do think double weapon XP cards work. But then again, this is just, based off of my own opinion and these numbers here. It's very hard for me to test consistently how well it works with different weapons just because the game is always different. But as you can tell, I did try different scenarios where, I barely get any kills. I'm in 5th place, my team loses, and even then, for instance, if you look at the Arctic 50, the blue one, I got plus 5 points for my weapon. And also, if you look at the Fennec, which is like the gold and yellow, when I lost for 2 games, I had gotten plus 2 and even plus 9 points. And this is just all with the weapon XP card. Now with the QQ9, I had lost the hardpoint game, but for my weapon, it didn't gain or lose any points. I guess to sum it up, yes, I would suggest using double weapon XP cards if you have a lot in your inventory, or if you plan on just playing for, 10 ranked matches the next 2 hours, or even the next 24 hours. It's not a game changer, but I would say it definitely helps. And here's the weapon mastery for my QXR. This is the game data that I've managed to compile. Very far left is plus or minus points for my weapon, and then my master points, the game, whether or not I won or lost, game score, placement, KDA, KD ratio, score, and for my weapon specifically, kill XP, time XP, assist XP, buff XP. So for the buff XP, that is extra XP that you would get from the double weapon XP card, and the number is basically just the total of all the other XP, and also rank XP. Obviously, I don't expect you to make a spreadsheet of how your games go, but I just did this so that way I could better see how it works and explain to you guys. Okay, and last question. It says I'm on the global leaderboard, but how come I haven't received a badge for it yet? This is a question that I get pretty often. First off, we're just going to look at different weapons. I'm going to go ahead and select the Type 25, and this is for the Asia region. If you pay attention to number 1, Ruka, they have 10,064 points, right? Now, if we go to global and we look for the same person, there they are. They have 10,064 points. Okay, like it looks pretty legit. But I've been noticing a discrepancy between the global and the regional. So if we were to look here, Light Pixel has around 9,600 points. But when you go on the global, they're not here for some reason. And pay close attention to how 10th place has 9,703 points. And all of a sudden, 11th place has 7,374 points. So there's a 2,000 point difference. So I don't think the global leaderboards really reflect all the regions correctly. Now pay attention to 11th, 12th place. And if you go back to the regional, you'll see that it's the exact same as the person in 11th and 12th place. So yeah, I feel like COD should fix this. It's been like this for a few seasons now. So basically, to answer the question, double check the global leaderboards to make sure that it's not showing what it's showing right now. Make sure that there's no point discrepancies, there's no giant gaps, because the leaderboards are extremely competitive, and if there's a 2,000 point gap, you know something's wrong. I mean, it is a little frustrating when it shows you that you're on the global leaderboard and you don't have the badge for it, but yeah, just double check. And I've checked with other weapons as well to make sure that it's not just a glitch with one weapon, but even with other weapons, it's the exact same thing. Like number 1, Hachi's, okay, however you say that, they show up on the global leaderboard, and that part is correct, because if you look at the points of the other people, it's around the same scale. But then as you scroll down, you'll see there's a discrepancy between number 10 and number 11. Here we go again with another about 2,000 point difference. And when you go back to the regional leaderboard, you'll see that from 11th place on, it's the exact same placement on the regional as on the global. And that is what I mean by I think it's just a glitch that COD has yet to fix. So in my opinion, on the global leaderboards, from 11th place and onward, it's usually not accurate. I think from 1st to 10th on the global leaderboard is accurate, but from 11th onward, I don't think so. I think it usually just reflects your regional. And I've tried changing the area to Europe just to see if, maybe it's just a regional thing. And, let's see DOQ for the Europe. I can't even say that name. But first place has 12,411 points. And if we look here on the global, there they are. They're 5th. But as we look onward, 10th place has 11,370 points, right? But then all of a sudden, 11th place has 8,482. So that's like a 3,000 point difference. Something's wrong there, for sure. And pay attention to 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and onward. When you go back to the regional, they're in the exact same place, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. So yeah, this is what I mean by just double checking and making sure that the global leaderboard is accurate for your specific weapon. If you don't see any of this and you still don't have the badge, then yes, I'd say definitely reach out to COD if settlement has occurred. Yes, it's my dying cowboys again. Okay, so I know I had originally wanted to share some more tips on the weapon mastery. However, with my voice like this, I probably shouldn't be recording that much anymore. So, and besides, this video is kind of already long enough, so I'm gonna save all that information for my next video. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Like, nobody wants to listen to me like this. But, anywho, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna be working on the next video about more tips with the weapon mastery and just, things that I've learned here and there with getting points or how to protect yourself from losing points and just playing more safe. And like always, if you have any questions, just comment down below and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you guys for taking your time to watch this video. Lots of love and I'll catch you guys later.